time you can remove the mask without launching your hearing aids. It's been a I'm Bill McCauley. I'm a very long-term member of the Sheriff's Hasty Team. That's the special rescue unit of the Sheriff's Department. Whoop, you still good? Okay. I was blessed to know Paul for just about 10 years from the time he came to the team. And the cool thing about Paul when he came to us was he didn't show up to tell us what he knew and to show us how he could help. Paul showed up to learn how we worked and to learn how he could make the team better and serve the people. It took us all a while. Are we back on track? Okay, very good, sir. Thank you. It took us all a while to learn Paul's many talents and to really get to know who he was and what he could do. A physician, an excellent skier, an excellent climber, and an excellent mountaineer. And Paul was always just that calm, low-key, no-drama kind of guy that you like to have around. And in spite of all that he came to the team with in terms of skill and talent and life experience, Paul showed up as a student. When we were working on rescue techniques for high-angle rescues, I mean, here's an experienced climber and mountaineer, and yet Paul was a student of how we did things and what we were teaching because he wanted to make himself better as well as making us better. He was always listening. He wanted to know what other people had to say. He wanted to learn from those around him. Whether it was the veteran members or the new members, Paul always saw something to learn from the people he was working with. And because of that, Paul was always worth listening to when he did speak up. And one of the best examples for that was as the COVID pandemic started to take hold, and we were trying to decide, okay, how soon do we pull the plug and quit training in person, quit doing things? We weren't sure. And Paul put out an email to the team saying, hey, here's what I see, here's what I know, here's what I believe, and here's my recommendation. And that was pretty much the end of the discussion. I mean, he had said his piece, it was well reasoned, and we knew that coming from Paul had been well thought through, and so we acted accordingly. Paul was not one of the guys who could be at every call simply because of his work responsibilities. He wanted to be there all the time, but he couldn't because he had other things that he was responsible for. And therefore, his contribution to the team was way outside the time that he was with us. We had that 10 years with him, and it's like he was there for 25. And I think that's for a couple of reasons. One is how he treated people. He never made you feel put down, even if he disagreed with you. He really cared about all of us. And another reason he was so successful with us was his pure skill level. I mean, the man was a master at the things he did. He had a commitment to excellence. And he had that calm spirit, and he was fun. Now, there's a tradition in the Air Rescue Service of a final farewell. There's a tradition in the Air Rescue Service of a final farewell for brothers or sisters who have fallen. And the Raven crew just felt it was crucial to be able to pay tribute to Paul tonight. Okay, can we all hear now? Okay, so to finish up, Paul was a blast. I mean, he was a fun guy to work around. A lot of guys that are as good as he was, they're just not that much fun. Paul was fun. He was a kick in the pants to work with. He became a climbing and mountaineering partner with a number of the Hasty Team, and people just loved getting out in the hills with him. And you never had to worry about sending him out on an assignment because you knew he had the skills to take care of himself, to take care of those around him. And that's why he was selected as a member of the Hoist rescue team to work with Raven when that team was first formed under pilot Doug Russell. Helicopters cause stress. You know, the noise, the whine, the wind, that thumping sound, it winds people up. And it's a dangerous job. And there's not going to be much help available if things go badly. You might get left behind if the helicopter doesn't have the weight capacity to take you after they've taken a patient. And so Paul was the perfect guy to have on that team because he just doesn't get wound up. He just stayed cool, worked through the problem. He looked out for his teammates, and he was a steady presence that all of us who worked in that program and all of us who worked in search and rescue are going to really miss. The team has a motto, that others may live. And Paul certainly personified that motto. But for those of us that he interacted with, when it wasn't our life that was on the line, it was just the life that we were living, I think you could have another motto for Paul, and that is that others may live better. So, thank you.